And we are back. Welcome back from that little break that we had there. We are talking about pronunciation and is it important or not. And I tweeted out a day or two ago that I watched the Final Fantasy. I got it stuck in my head now. The Dune sci-fi miniseries of Dune over the weekend, and I realized something. And I'm going to point out I've got evidence of what I discovered here over my clips. But I just want to know, go around the table. Harkonnen or Harkonnen? Harkonnen. What is it? The Baron Vladimir Harkonnen.
Harkonnen.
We have.
I agree.
Harkonnen.
Only if you watch the original movie in 1984, the year 2000 miniseries has it different, and I'm going to play those too. But if you listen to them, the 1984 movie says Harkonnen or Harkonnen. The 2000 miniseries says Harkonnen, and I just think that's really interesting to notice.
But didn't the writer was involved with the movie though, right?
The creator I don't know.
Not with the miniseries, but I thought he was involved with the movie.
I think that Frank Herbert died before. I will look that up. But I'm going to play the two clips really quick.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to hear them, so that I hope that it comes across clearly to you. I looked for the best, clearest examples that I could find of the two different pronunciations, so you'll have to bear with me for just a second. So here is the 1984 movie featuring Sting and Patrick Stewart, a.k.a. Jean-Luc Picard. And here is the Duke saying the word Harkonnen.
Harkonnens. We are coming down to take your Tharvester. All spotters are ordered to comply.
Ordered by whom?
Duke Leto Atreides.
Yes. Yes, sire.
How many men do you have?
Okay, and then we have the year 2000 miniseries that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. And then this is the Baron himself speaking about his house.
Ravanna aspires to rule House Harkonnen one day, Fade, and yet he can't even rule himself. Explain our plan.
So anyway, I just thought that was interesting to hear.
What about the Hunger Games? The character's name is Peter. It's written P-E-R asterisk PETA.
Yeah, no. What?
It's PETA.
Isn't it written PETA in the book? P-E-T-A?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's PETA.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's actually spelled differently in the book.
It's PETA. It's PETA.
Yeah. Anyway, as
So
Krona just said, and I just looked up, Frank Herbert died in 1986, which was 2 years after the movie. So you would figure that he would have creative input into the movie production, and if it was Harkonnen, he would have been like, "Hey guys, I hear that you're saying Harkonnen, and that's incorrect." But he didn't, for whatever reason. And then
because he didn't need to, because there's a movie.
But why didn't the miniseries look at that and be like, "Oh, this is how they're saying it"? Then why don't we pronounce it the same way?
Because miniseries play it fast and loose.
Because it didn't matter. Because it didn't matter. That's the answer. Because it didn't matter.
I don't know. It's the same reason like people in like the Midwest they have a weird accent and say everything right to me, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Exactly.
If I had my regional accent, I would say things really weird. Because it would be PETA.
PETA?
PETA.
Lois.
No, not quite like that.
we need to get Zubay, bring him back on. Because you can hear his Massachusetts accent. He doesn't even try to.
That's just a natural thing.
And really, when he says something, do you think to yourself, "Oh, he's just got a regional accent," or do you think to yourself like he's pronunciating something wrong?
No, I just think that's his accent. Like I'm not like this.
Pronunciating.
I grew up around it. Like my grandparents, like my mom's from Staten Island. Like I'm used to it. I've been to Jersey. Trust me. I've seen people that like that. Get that out of the draw. Like what am I drawing for you? Like no, I don't do that. I'm like I know it means drawer.
My mother is from Shawnee, Oklahoma. From the Carolinas. If you get my mother talking really fast, she's really upset. She immediately drops into a southern accent.
Does she? That's great.
I do it too.
All I can say, coming from Washington, and my whole family's from Washington, and then moving down to California, Californians are not afraid to use slang. Like my boss will call me.
No, but they're afraid to use blinkers.
That's not language. But like my boss is not to be
It's
afraid of
language
being
cars.
like, "Hey, dude, I need you to go down to," or my other coworker is saying like, "Hey, bro, how you doing today?" Like, and they're not trying to say it to be ironic. That's just they fit it into their everyday conversation. All right.
Krona hit it right on the head. Pack the cat and yat.
Yeah, but that's the Harvard God. That's such the stereotype way to look at it. Like I wanted to live to hear the whole.
You like apples? I like them apples.
To hear the whole accent. Well, it's funny because German accent when they're talking English, like I can hear.
Hello, friend.
I lived in Germany for 3 years, and my brother is he does it very more noticeably than I do. As Kai Lest pointed out earlier, my name is Nathan. I do not like going by Nate. It's Nathaniel, Nathan, but never Nate. My brother, who also grew up in Germany with me when we were very, very young, if you listen carefully, he says Nathan because in the German they don't put the th. It doesn't work. They don't.
Nope.
They don't. And so Nathan, and he's
Hello.
the only person I know that I can hear it when he says it.
What are we talking? Welcome to EverCast. What are we talking about tonight? Let's have a good time.
Right. Okay. All right. So done with pronunciation. We definitely ran that topic into the ground. So this last little bit is we just calling it immersion, and there's actually it was prompted by a specific video game, but we're going to talk about it in general because like I have not played Grand Theft Auto, so I was going to turn it over to Flatus a little bit. I was going to, or Kylesta talking a little bit. The Sims. The Sims is another great example. Like when you're immersed in an MMO, do you want to have to worry about going to the bathroom?
Fairies don't poop. So I don't have to worry about that anyway.
Right, and that's right. Why do we have elven? We don't have elven sewers. The elves don't need sewers. They don't poop, right?
Well, as far as we know, maybe they have an elven outhouse someplace out in the woods. They do live up in trees. Maybe they just like
They do.
maybe they just hang it off the edge or something.
Like guano buildup underneath the elf encampment.
Yeah, like some poor like dwarf is walking by. He's like chopping down tree. Oh, oh no!
Right. So
My eyebrows.
Well, what do we think about?
It's one thing in The Sims when you have to worry about like their physical wants and needs. Like you have to worry about that sort of thing. I get it, but in an MMO, I don't want to have to take time out of killing bitches to go pee. I don't want to have to think about whether my character sits or stands. I don't want to have to think about what they use for toilet paper. It's too much. It's too much.
Well, okay, so and that goes back to like EverQuest was one of the first games that had food buffs, right? Well, it was one of the first MMOs, so like we're talking about food buffs. And the way that here's another way to phrase it. Food buffs are fine, right? We all agree with that. Like that's awesome that you get a food buff. But when you do not have a food buff, do you think of yourself as what do they call it? Not a disadvantage, but like a debuff. You're not up to your optimal because you don't have your food buff.
I forget it all the time in Guild Wars 2. And I found it really annoying when I was playing EverQuest, when it's like, you are starving, you are starving, you are starving. In chat, it just spams it over and over and over again. You are starving, you are thirsty. I'm like, I'm down. Leave me alone.
I like it when you get so angry, and then your mic is like, no!
Sorry, I did it again. I'm gonna make you guys so drunk. I'm sorry. Shh, it's okay, little Mike. It's okay. It's okay.
Kyle, what do you think?
I just want her to pet me more.
Because I mean,
Well,
Why, hello.
It's for Kai.
That was him! That wasn't even me this time, that was him!
It's for Kai.
Oh, alright. Food buff, Kailas, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you find it as annoying? Does it add to the gameplay? Does it take away from the gameplay?
I don't give a fuck. That's the easy answer.
And some people don't. Like, some people do not care.
Okay. I start giving a fuck when I'm going to starve to death and my character will actually die. Then I will actually give a fuck.
Like in the
That
Sims,
would be-
you're like, fine, make a grilled cheese.
Okay. I will
Make a
I will admit that I have
quesadilla?
played The Sims. And I don't dislike game. I think it's annoying that I have to use the bathroom. I think it's annoying that I have to take a shower, wash my hands, have sex. Seriously, like, these things are needs that your character wants. And occasionally, if you build a good enough relationship with someone, it actually pops up as a thing that you need to fill. Have sex with that person.
I never want my character to have a little thing that pops up. It's like, your bladder's full. Like, I need to make TT. Excuse me, Mr. NPC, can I use your outhouse? I have to go tinky tink.
Right, could you imagine that before raid, right? Like, already the raid leader is like, okay, does everybody have their potions in their flasks? Okay, we're gonna put down a feast so that everybody gets some food beast. And damn it, everybody use the outhouse this time. I'm not gonna have your character having the Peter in the middle of raid. Just not gonna happen this time.
That's like me before any road trip.
It's like me before every road trip. So you're saying ready checks are like what you do right before road trip? You do ready checks?
I have a saying in my family, and I'm not talking about Tanlin's, I'm talking like my personal family. Before Tanlin and I got married, there was a rule in my house. It was pee before you flee.
That's a solid one.
Solid one. Pee before you flee.
So we in my opinion, what I like is like when I play in an MMO, especially an MMORPG that's like a fantasy-based one. It's like I want to log in and I want to do heroic things, right? I want to be some sort of badass that is adventuring across the world, doing heroic deeds and rescuing people and fighting bad deeds or doing whatever. Maybe I'm an evil guy and I'm doing things the opposite way, where I'm inflicting my scourge upon the world. And when I'm thinking about all of these heroic or dastardly deeds that I want to do when I'm locking into the MMO, the last thing I'm thinking about is like, maybe I need to pee. Or maybe I need to. Maybe my character needs some food.
Tanlin, destroyer of dragons, killer of witches, owner of necromancers. Also, the guy with the smoothest BMs ever. Congratulations!
Right, because. But, and I'm going to say this in another way. But in a game like H1Z1, I can very easily find myself very involved in the whole, I need to eat, I need to drink, I need to survive, because that is what this game is about. It is about a survival MMO type game. It's a survival MMO. It's just not an RPG. It's just a survival MMO. And so those type of activities like add to it. In The Sims, right, where you're simulating a person going about their daily lives, I can almost see to the point where, like, okay, well, I need to land this job interview, so I need to make sure that my sim goes to the bathroom before the interview so that she doesn't have to go during the interview type stuff. But,
you don't want that negative debuff.
Right? You don't want to be squirming in your seat answering questions, right? That type of deal. So what other type of immersive things do we see in video games that like don't belong in MMOs or do belong in MMOs but aren't?
Here, for example, like in Final Fantasy, there is like food does give you buff. There's food in Final Fantasy because I know you guys are playing it. Now, in case anybody missed the beginning or intro to the show, Kai and Tamlin are playing Final Fantasy. There is food. Food, like, early on gives you, like, bonuses to your XP gain, gives you, like, maybe a 2% bonus, which isn't big deal. If you don't use it, doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't kill you, it doesn't, like, make your hair, like, your character's like, be like, I'm starving, give me food! Like, it doesn't matter. If you remember to eat cool, you get like a little 2% bonus gain. If not, don't matter. Nobody cares. So, but there are games out there like The Sims. Like, when I played the original Sims, I put my sim, like, I was not a good sim person. Like, I made my Sims, I was like bored. I was like, I don't know, but build a house, I don't want to do this. And I was like, all right, I'll just do this. And I surrounded my Sim with a bunch of refrigerators and watch them engorge themselves. And they're like sitting there like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, you bad bastard. And then Death showed up and I was like, haha, fool.
Oh, and that's when I just like put him in a swimming pool.
Or yeah, lock him in the swimming pool, then Death shows up.
You evil people.
I'm not the, listen, I'm the last person you give Sims to.
No. I'm the last person you give Sims to when you get mods involved. I do awful things to their lives.
Oh yeah.
Awful things.
Awful things.
Like, when I played SimCity, the first thing I did was like create a giant city that it was like, let me look up the codes for disasters. That's the first thing I did. I was like, can I even get aliens to come wreck my I can! Aliens come in and storm in and just destroy all the things.
It was like
Sims 3 had some pretty interesting mods.
when you were playing. I remember when you were playing Civilization, right? And at some point during the game, you hit the save game, right? And then you're like, okay, nuclear wartime, nuke, and then you're like, okay, that was fun. Now let's load back up my save game and play like normal, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then we also got to consider, like, we were at a different time and point in gaming, right? Where I think PC gaming. I don't know. Want to say we're that far. Like, there's still regulations and stuff like that. But like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had the hot coffee mod, right? That was originally supposed to be in the game. Like the sex mini games were originally supposed to be in the game. TJ, the character, was when he was going on dates. Like, and that was the first like GTA game that your character had to eat. You had to make sure they were being fed. You take them to the gym. Like, if they were gaining weight, they literally gained weight. If you went to fast food all the time, they gained weight. And your guy could get fat. So you had to take him to the gym, make sure he was working out to garner up his strength. Like, that was the most in-depth the Grand Theft Auto got. They never did that really afterwards. Like, after, like, I think Grand Theft Auto 4, with Roman and the one set in New York City, or not New York. Like, food was just more like, oh, I'm low in health, let me go get a hot dog. They kind of took that away because people were like, I want to go kill people and go pick up hookers. Like, I don't want to, like, have to actually make my guy go to the gym. He's like, I ain't going to the gym now. You want me to send my character to the gym? Like, bro, I'm not going to lift weights in game. I'm not lifting weights in real life. Screw your game. Like, my guy's going to be fat and just sit at home. That's how it's going to roll down.
Can I be fat and play video games in that game?
Yeah, right. Can I do? It's the best game ever. Woo.
Right, which is funny because I was thinking, like, with the Sims, could you make a Sim that mispronounced everything and made all the people around him
Washington?
And then name it Tanlin.
Make them socially awkward.
You can?
I think so. Well, I haven't played The Sims 4. I haven't picked it up yet, but I did play The Sims 3, and there was one that was like inappropriate, where like your character says inappropriate things all the time, and everybody else is like, fuck off.
Yes.
Right. And I saw that Lucy answered this in chat, but Noman Wilkie brought up the next point that I was going to make about D&D, right? Does D&D does the game make you carry around food, right? And Lucy answered exactly how I would expect the DM to answer. Well, it depends on who's running the game, because if the DM doesn't want to run it, then the DM doesn't need to. The DM doesn't have to, because the DM is making the rules as they go. And in some games, you might want that type of micromanagement of the characters. In other games, it's like, let's go do heroic stuff together. I'm gonna bring up vampires though. Go ahead.
I have just one thing. You asked a few minutes ago, like, what is one thing you want to see that somebody does that MMOs need to do? And mine was having relationships with NPCs that matter. Like for example, if your character talks to an NPC a lot, and this was actually in the Guild, the web series, like where Zabu got his faction up with this like mermaid NPC and got her to like love him and stuff, and then they did like the beta wipe, and he went to talk to her again. She's like, "How are you?" And he like cried. I want that to be there. Like I I want your character to be able to like garner a relationship with an NPC. Maybe not romantic, and that's fine. Like I can understand that would be weird for coding and everything else. But I want there to be like this NPC has a positive outlook of you, or this NPC has a negative outlook of you, or a neutral outlook.
And isn't that what we're hoping for in EverQuest Next? Is that your relationship with an NPC isn't just the faction points that you ground out, or that you did this particular quest for them. You want that relationship with that NPC to matter depending on the context of the world around them, and then your context with them, right? Like if they're wealthy and happy, they're more likely to be jovial, they're more likely to joke with you, that type of, not just I mean, I'm speaking for myself here. I want to see NPCs in the world not only have a relationship with you that is unique to you, but their relationship with the world depends on the state of the world around them.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go. A couple points I can make. WoW did this a little bit with the farmer quest in Pandaria, where you had to befriend the other people in the farm faction to garner their respect. And they're like, we're best friends now. I'm gonna come by your barn, and so I can make it which was the lowest, and I mean low, close to the floor as I can get version of what Tanlin's talking about. The next step up from that would probably be Project Gorgon with their. And if you haven't played Project Gorgon, it's free. Go download it, sign up. Go try it out. They actually have a system where you can befriend and learn things. You can hang out with NPCs. You can actually do it offline too. Would you like to, while you're offline, for 2 hours, you can gain respect with an NPC and become more their friend. Up to what I can understand, or maybe a romantic thing with certain NPCs. No, what Talon wants is individual. Lucy may not get the same treatment for one person based versus me. Maybe it's based on her race, and they may be neutral with her race versus
totally.
I would not associate with racists.
I would do the romantic thing with NPC to gain things that I wanted.
So, I mean, Project Gorgon's doing that right now. What I would like to see take the next step up, it would be EQN, where it's remember, if they're still on that path where they're still using the same architecture and product they used with Storybricks, just continuing it on their own, I would like to see what Tanlin's describing with the NPCs, with more people ignored my rat problem, so I'm not as jovial as I used to be because my crops are dead. So this kind of sucks. I like you as a person, but I'm still kind of not happy because I can't really give you the corn that I would like to give you because that corn is not growing because the rats effed up my freaking supply here. My family can't eat. I can't do anything. Unless you get here, listen, here's some copper. I'll maybe you can say hey, listen, can you spare me some gold so I can feed my family through the winter? And then maybe spring rolls around, he gets a new crop in, nobody destroys it, and then he's like, hey, thank you, here's the money back. Or you know what, my son became a jeweler over the winter, he learned how to jewel craft, here's a special necklace that gives you such and such. He found a special jewel. That stuff would be so cool because it's all right, I befriended this guy. Everyone else was an asshole to him, and I befriended him, helped him out in his time of need. As the season went on, or as his crops regrew, whatever happened to him, he remembered the fact that I helped him. And then it became a thing where he's thank you for helping me. The only way I can pay you is that my son became a jeweler, and he found this jewel, and he put it on a necklace, and that gives you 5 protection against, early on, it's a thing that gives you 5 protection against fire or something, which is oh sweet, yeah, some cool buff or something like that. And then he's if you buy corn from me, I'll give you a 50% discount. So now you're cool, I get a discount on food from him, and then I also get this cool necklace. And then it continues on, his relationship, and then you can tarnish that relationship. Say he asks for your help, and say, no, screw you, and he's oh, wait, what the hell? What's romantic? I gave you corn, and I gave you a cool necklace, and you don't want to be my friend no more? And then he's all sad, and that hurts. Then he's hurt, and then he's I don't want to be your friend anymore either. Get out of here. Then maybe he raises the prices back up for the corn and stuff like that, just to treat you back. That should affect you, and I think that's cool. It's not so much where it's here's some, I'll do your daily quest. It was more of a natural relationship. I'm a naturally nice person. Here's the money. I have extra platinum. I don't care. Here's a platinum. So your family can survive the winter. Where other people would be bro, I don't care. Fuck your corn. Like, I don't care. Like, that would be a cool system, and like Fugazi. I think that's all we're hoping for to get like the world sim type system. Yeah, that's what we want. So if anybody from Daybreak is watching,
I agree to it up to a point. Like I understand that even from a coding and an immersion type, even that type of relationship has a limit for me. Like, you know, if
too much of the world, too real, Flatus.
Well, right. Like okay, so you don't do the quest to kill the rats. The rats eat the grain stores, and the people starve over the winter because they have no food. And you come back to the city like a week or two later, and now it's winter end game, and everybody in the city is dead. It's probably a little bit too real for me. I think you can back down on the realism from that point. Okay,
not like not everybody. Maybe just him. Maybe it's like a little soul. Like we had enough money to go to market and feed the town, or like the town took what they needed, but we have nothing to eat because like he's still like loyal to his queen or king of Kinos, whoever is ruling, and he gives them their corn. He's like, listen, I'm loyal to my king, and the subjects need to eat, and I have very little for my family. Here's some money. Like something simple where it's like it feels natural. Like nothing crazy where they're like everyone dies, doom and gloom for all. Like bro, it's just me. I had like 20
a pestilence upon you.
Yeah, like and then like next thing you know, 2 days later, there's like some guy with a car like bring out your dad, bring out your dad.
All right, so before we got onto that, like. A video game and a pen and paper game where I think that like your feeding habits are definitely of importance to just the game because that's the type of game it is the Vampire, World of Darkness Vampire, and then the Bloodlines video game that they made where your vampire needs to feed because in the game mechanics, the blood that you feed is what you use to power your abilities. And so if you want to be powerful, you have to have blood in you because you're a vampire. Duh.
Makes sense.
You don't sparkle. And so that type of, not only in a video game, and then not only in that type of video game, in that type of pen and paper game, but your feeding habits do matter, and they need to be managed by the storyteller or the game master or whatever. And so I think that is important. I don't have an answer for this part of immersion, but I thought that it was very interesting to think about. But what do you think about like sleep cycles? Do you just ignore them? Do you throw them out? Because they've talked about before, like your character or the game world is going to be on a game clock, right? And so they early on they asked in part of their roundtable questions about like, well, how long should a day be in the game? And the world is going to be more dangerous at night. But do you think that there should be like, if your character is up for 2 days straight out in the world adventuring, do you think that he should get getting affected by a lack of sleep? Or do you think that you just like go on with your bad self? You can stay up for a week straight. No one cares.
No, and I'll tell you why in an MMO. Because some days I'm going to have the chance to play for a really long time and I want to just keep going. And some days I'm not going to have a chance to play for very long and I don't want to have to sleep while I have like 20 minutes to play. Like even if it's like a quick like click, now you're awake again, I don't want it.
Cavrolot. We'll put sleeping and how about clothing for the environment, like hot climates and cold climates, like dressing appropriately for the environment. Just throw those two together and turn it over to Flatus and Kailas. What do you guys think?
About sleeping, I think staying warm with campfires is kind of neat. But should it be environment? No. But I mean, I'd accept it if it was. But I don't think it should have to be that way.
Like I put myself in a city, but like I'll give an example. Final Fantasy. It's easy for me. Final Fantasy, you get a room in your like the first city you get in. Like, oh, you have a room. You can go there. You rest there. It doesn't affect you. Like, but you can do certain things in the room. Like you have a chest there. You can put like extra armor pieces, kind of like your bank. Kind of like that, like, but you can also call the esthetician, the guy who cuts your hair, like that's how you, like, he comes to your room. He's like, how would you go? Very fabulous. If you, Kailas, when you get to that quest, You're gonna love it. He's so it's so fantastic. He's like, I'm gonna cut your hair fabulously. It's great. And that like certain things you can do specifically in that room and rest and put your character in there, but you also get to rest just being in the city. So it's like it doesn't matter if you actually sleep in a game. Campfire's cool. Tent system I would like if I was out and about in a field and I wanted not to go back to the city because I was waiting for something and I wanted to like log off for an hour and I could just put up a tent system or a camp system and camp out and maybe not like the full benefits of being in the city, but like say, oh, you get 75% or 50, half of what you would get in the city by staying in your tent. Cool, I'll rough it. Don't care.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, do that. That's cool. Like I dig that. Yeah, I dig that. Like you build a little campfire, put up a tent, boom, done.
The thing is like for those types of reward mechanics, like for one thing, if it's a bonus to experience, like you're talking about in Warcraft, where if you log out in the city, you get rest experience, so that like when you log back in, you're rested and you earn experience faster, and that's a great mechanic, but it only works up until max level. Once you're at max level, that reward becomes irrelevant because you're not earning any experience the other way. And then the other mechanic that I feel that people need to be careful about is that if you give a bonus for doing a particular thing, then like the hardcore players are going to think it's a disadvantage when they're not playing with it. And so you kind of have to balance that. Like we were talking about the food buff earlier. Like there are those hardcore raiders out there that it's like a check. You know, do you have your flask? Do you have your potion? Do you have your food buff? And so you want to make it so that it's something that's rewarded for doing, but it doesn't feel like a penalty for not doing, and that's the clearest way that I can describe it. You want to encourage those type of realistic behaviors without penalizing it for not doing it. But I don't have any answers. I'm not a game designer, game developer. I'm just
I just play games. I'm just a guy. This is a guy who talks about it in games on the internet. Nerd.
See the picture I tweeted out? I'm like a mega nerd. I'm like, ooh, it's a bird, it's a plane, woo!
Awesome. Yeah, you know, it's an interesting concept because I don't think anybody has the right answer because every game developer is going to think they have the right answer. It's the same thing with crafting. Every crafting in every MMO is going to be like WoW feels like they have the best answer. Like they'll change it. They don't. Like don't. I know you're making a face.
No.
I know you're making.
And Warcraft realized that their system was so broke that they completely scrapped it in the latest expansion, so that all you have to do is log in every day, and it's like, oh, I can craft whatever I want.
That's how broken it is. They're like, you know what? You just log in and go talk to somebody, and they magically give you ore because that's how broken our system is. And you know what? It's probably going to be broken in the next system because they're not. It's going to take them like 3 iterations of what it's going to take to fix it, and they're still not going to get it right. Like but it's sad. Like it's very few games, and then there's gonna be some people in chat that are gonna disagree with me. But I think a lot of people in the MMO community, and I don't want to say like I'm like, oh, he's talking a lot about Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy does a lot of things right. One, crafters are a class. They're not just a crafting. It's not like something you pick up in an MMO. It's like, oh, I picked up this and this. You can be all the crafting classes. You level them like a class. You go out into the world, and if you're a miner, you go mine, and you get bonuses. You can do daily, like oh, hey, I need you to go pick up 10 copper for me. So you go out and mine 10 copper, and that increases your thing. You can do specific things. You know, do you have to worry about mobs? No, you get like a special thing where you like go invisible. Like you learn the lay of the land, so you avoid monsters, so you can go about your crafting easily. Do you have to fight anybody? No. You don't have to fight with anybody with ore or anything like that. So it's like you level up crafting, and then the next expansion they're going to have specific skills, like you go down a path and you start, and like they're kind of getting it. And then some people are like, I've argued with certain people about like, oh, it's a mini game, but it's not, because like you have like a bar and you select different things, and that affects like, oh, okay, I want to do this because that adds more intelligence versus strength on it. Like, and you have to do things, you have to time things right, make it perfect. Like, you can make a crappy piece of material and you destroys your shit. Like, you lose stuff.
Yeah, see, and that's again, I feel like I'm very. I walked into Vanguard as my first MMO, and so like there's a little bit of the like, oh, it was my first, so it was the best. But there was a lot of things that like, and when we go into crafting again, if we do another episode, I'll definitely go into that. But I don't even know why it got brought up exactly. But
yet another example of why a video.
Darn us for making new episodes after stuff we start talking about. Dang. Episode 52.
Crafting. I feel spoiled because I played Vanguard as my first MMO, and at length I can go into all of the things that I thought were great about that crafting system, and then tell you why it was horrible and needed to die. But yeah, so immersion. Any last thoughts about immersion? I thought we'd take the last 10 minutes of the show and turn it over to the audience and have them answer questions, or have them ask questions which we answer. Have them discuss amongst themselves.
Sure.
This could be awesome or horrible.
Listen, ask whatever you want. Or like,
Questions about immersion.
Oh, yeah, this is not an AMA.
Lucy asked questions about immersion.
Yeah. Ignore if Vladis said. Make sure it's about immersion. I'll ask this question first. Landmark is a game with vast and this was Bacon Lover I think wrote this. Landmark is a game with vast customization. There's a little variety of customization of characters. There's a chance to change in-game appearance with like hair, beard, or something like that. I started to play the first week of the game, and now I've had a lot of content change every week and change for the better. So we can build helms deep, but we can't cut hair. P.S. Sorry for the pouring. So I think his question is.
Yeah.
I think what his question is like change appearance change in Landmark.
I think that Landmark, the foundation of Landmark is a building game, and they need to add in all the features to develop the game into something more than it is. And because they're focusing so much on the building game part of it, that like we can expect appearance changes and the large humans and more character customizations to come in the future. They'll patch it in, they'll add it in. I do expect it to come, just not anytime soon.
I agree. I think that we'll see that stuff. I just don't think we'll see it yet. I think as soon as we start seeing that stuff in EQN, they'll probably slap it over to Landmark, or Vice maybe we'll get it right before Landmark gets it, and then we'll get to play with it there.
Well, I know we're going to get some more character customization with the character wipe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Large Humans is coming, correct? If I remember.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to get actually Lucas D. BDB. Question, not
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, and I think to go a step further, I think that it would be awesome that if on my claim there was a prop that you could build, which was like the haircutter's seat, whatever it's called, the
barber chair.
Barber chair that raises you up, it lowers you, and it spins you around. Right? If you like built one and you put it on your claim, and it was like other people could come to your claim and they could click on it and change their appearance and customization
for a small fee.
But for a small low price of
for the low price of
but you can make different type props which are all different types of vendors, so that you could, if you wanted to create a village that had all of the different props, you could do that, or you could make like the opulent temple of barber shops and just be known for that on your claim. I think that those would be like two great ways to go with that. That would be awesome. That I think that people would really like.
That would be fun. I think that would be a lot of fun. Another question. This may have been from Bacon Lover. I didn't copy the names. I apologize again. Bacon Lover, if this was you, I got your name right this time. Bacon Lover, question, have you played Cities Skylines? I personally have not played Cities Skylines yet. I know it's from Paradox. Those guys have made Magicka. I love Magicka. I can say this. It was smart on them to do day one mod support. It was smart on them to do day one Steam Workshop support. It is a fantastic game from what I could see. And as soon as I can buy it, I will. I may wait for summer sale and get it at a cheaper discount, because city building games aren't necessarily my go-to for gaming, but I do like them for maybe I'm feeling a little bored, I want to lay back, chill out, just click on my mouse and build things. So I have not, but my friend has, and he loves it so far. So
I am a huge fan of the SimCity. I played it tons. I think that Skylines is what SimCity 4 should have been. And I have not played it, but I've watched other people stream it, and it was awesome. Because
German streaming anything is amazing.
Yeah, just a little FYI, I occasionally watch a stream in German, not because I speak the language, but because I try to customize myself to listening to it so that I can pick up the language. And just like Flatus, it is a game that I'm looking forward to buying on sale when I have tons of extra time, which is no time in the near future.
Same, unfortunately.
By the way, chat, if you guys have a question, throw it out now. We're answering them.
Yeah.
Do it.
You
Go.
listen,
Go.
you got 4.
Give us
Yeah,
questions.
Two things. Listen, I got 4 minutes. I'll do whatever I need to make this happen till carry it to
Don't
10.
say that.
I want to. Snowman. Penalties for not adhering to immersion mechanics or bonuses for taking the extra step to be immersed.
I would absolutely friggin' love if there was an RP server and they fucking penalized you for not RPing. You have no idea how many times I have rolled on an RP server, an RP server, and had people be like, wow, RP, you guys are lame. No, you're lame. Go yourself. This is my area where I can do this. You go to your goddamn PvE server or your goddamn PvP server, and then you say level RP, but you do not do it on my server.
Yeah, and the hardest part about making this type of servers work is like how do you create enforcement for it, and how do you create the rules, like, because one person there's the whole like, oh, that's a Mary Sue roleplay, and like, you know, the role-playing groups can be a little judgmental. I'm just going to throw it out there, and it's so tough to balance it. Other than what would you say to having a whitelist server, right? Like you pay for rights to run the server. You as the person who's paying for it, you can whitelist people as officers or moderators or administrators, and you invite people. And if you don't, I mean, that would be my ultimate suggestion on how to implement that well.
I think that if you type lol RP into your chat, you should be immediately banned. Obviously, I don't obviously think that literally. However, I wish there was a way to enforce that, because there are so many times when I would like to just see people like get into their character and like try, like even just try just a little bit, and they just zero fucks on an RP server.
I want to, but the world has to make me want to. And that's really hard.
And I absolutely agree. The world has to make you want to.
And to throw it out there, like, that's why I stopped role-playing in Warcraft, because I played an all-blood elf guild that was associated, or mine was an all-blood elf paladin guild, right? And then we were associated with an all-blood elf guild, and the whole, like, the world never changed. Like, it was 2 years, and, like, Silvermoon City had not changed at all, and I'm just like, this is...
That's a bit much.
Well, but regardless,
not on your side. I'm saying like 2 years, like the world. I know, like the Silvermoon City is still not changed.
And then when it did change, it was so on the rails. Like, this is what the Blood Elves did, and I didn't like that, because it wasn't like the world reacting to anything I was doing. I was just along for the ride. And then I know Lucy plays Guild Wars 2, and one of my problems with Guild Wars 2 is that it was epically beautiful, awesome, graphically amazing video game, but the world didn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like, there were huge docks and shipping lanes on a lake that, when you looked on the map, was itty bitty and tiny. Like who built this ship that shipwrecked here? Because it doesn't make any sense. This lake's not big enough to support that type of vessel, and that really kind of killed it for me. I'd like to see a world that that moved and flowed a little bit better and made a lot more sense, other than looking pretty.
Agreed. There's still some questions in chat. I can answer these, and I'll rapid fire answer question. How tall am I by Snowman? You're taller than Lucy, clearly, but shorter than a flagpole. Next question. Did the claws just come out? I'm not sure. I don't have a cat. Anybody?
I will answer that.
Sweet mercy. All right. Question, Flatus. Can you say vagina again for Lucy? I just said it. There you go.
That sounded a bit too close to vagina.
Vagina. Sorry. Question.
He won't say pussy on stream.
RP RP servers having a cross-faction diplomacy subclass. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And again, in one of the bring up Warcraft again. One of the most frustrating things is that like you're two players, and you can't talk to one another. But I can, if I'm playing the Alliance character, I know exactly what Thrall is saying. I know what all of the NPC heroes are saying, but I can't understand the orc that's standing next to me. It makes no sense. It's a mechanical limitation done by the developers that, like, I'm sure it was a great thought at the time, but it makes no sense. I would love to play a diplomat that could do that type of interaction.
And real quick, Fugazi DQ says Triple X Swag Drizzt 420 No Scope Triple X. If you didn't know, that's Tobin Ernwood's name in probably most MMOs. Shout out to Tobin Ernwood wherever you are, buddy. We should have him on the show. We haven't had him on the show in a long time. We'll probably have him back.
The funniest thing that I have ever seen is when he came to my my alpha landmark my inn opening, and he RP'd, and he was like on the roof being drunk, and it was so funny. It was so funny.
Fun fact, he was really drunk.
I'm sure.
I can tell you this because he was talking to me when he was drinking, and he was like, I went there and I was actually drunk. So, in case
being very drunk.
Yeah, and anybody new to the show, if you don't know, Tobin Ernwood is my online bromance. So, just in case you didn't know, I have somebody in Scotland who deeply is in love with me and can't grow a beard. So if you take that for any consideration, that's Tobin Ernwood for you. And
why is it important that he can't grow a beard?
Listen, it hurts him in a way that I've never seen anybody get hurt.
Him.
Oh,
you
so we just need
sadist.
to hurt him. I get it. Romances. I get it.
Listen,
listen.
I asked, like, fun fact, I did ask people if I should shave the beard off. I was like, should I shave the beard? He was like, no, you glorious bastard. He loves this beard so much. Anyway, listen, guys.
Fun fact, cannot stand face pubes.
What? Oh.
Yeah, that's right. You heard me.
What? My beard's...
Nope, don't like it.
They're
like, what about
his face,
Tamlin's?
not mine.
Do you want me to shave it?
No.
Like, just me, or is it just in general?
No, in general. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't like
Gladys.
any.
I got real hurt for a second. But just general, like, less hurt.
I like the look of them. Let me be honest. I like the look at him, but because I don't make out with you, I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, no, it's soft. I take care of this. I actually condition my beard.
No, never soft enough. I'm sorry. Nope.
Oh,
Face
no,
pubes.
no. Oh, no. This
Pubes.
This is not face pubes. I'm telling you real quick. Snowman, I thought Chewina was your bromance. No, Chewina's real quick. I buy expensive stuff. It is this beard is taken care of. Thank you. This is not. Just like my hair. Hey. Just like my hair.
I will not make out with him to find out, but I will find out.
Oh yeah, just like my hair. By the way, I buy tea tree like shampoo and conditioner for my. I take care of this. All right, this is a temple.
It's well maintained face tubes.
It is very. It's like a little tiny patch of like heaven across this thing. Like you have to. It can't be rough and gruff. Like that's right. Like you want to touch somebody. Like somebody needs to feel this.
Some women like that. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying.
No.
Personally.
I'm totally rethinking it all now.
No, don't, no! I can't.
No. You do what your wife says. Don't you dare.
He doesn't like it. No.
She doesn't like it.
I will not tell him what to do with the way he looks.
She does not like the way it feels, but we both agree that it looks better than without.
You do look like a badass. Like if you shot up the gun, when you shot up the gun, and with the beard, you looked like nobody should be messing. Poof, there it is. Nobody messes with Tamlin. Listen, guys, we're 5 minutes over. Real quick, Snowman Wilk, I thought Chewina was your bromance. Listen, real quick, let me ask this question. Chewina was your bromance. Chewina is a good friend of mine. He's one of my closest friends, and I've said this before. Like I wouldn't have been on EverCast without him. So, yeah, bromance, sure. Like, but not like a Tobin. That's a special type of bromance I have with Tobin Ernwood. But guys, listen, thank you. Woo! Listen, we gotta go. It's 10:00 on the East Coast. It's late over there on the West Coast too. Those guys gotta like go make dinner and stuff too. Yeah, he's got laundry. Come on. All right, guys, thank you so much. I know you. If we could do 4 hours.
So you know what wipes are for?
Listen, guys, we have to go. We're gonna go. We're leaving. That's it. There's no more EverCast for tonight. I know if we could do 4 hours, you guys would stay here and support us for 4 hours. We love you. Thank you so much. Follow us. Email us at evercast.show@gmail.com. Follow us here. If you're not following us already, click the follow button. We do this every week. It's great stuff. Follow us at Twitter. At EverCast_show. YouTube, EverCast_show. Follow us, email us, send us your questions, send us your thoughts. If you have an interesting person you want us to have on the show, well, let us know. If it's you, tell us. If it's someone else from the Daybreak community, we'll try and get them on. If it's somebody from the community that you think that is a big voice and you think like, oh, why haven't they talked to them yet? We'll try. So we'll try to get them. But guys, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
So what he's trying to say is,
we should try to get a Daybreak
Daybreak
Games interview.
We will try.
We should try again.
We should try. Thank you so much. And yet again, I guess I will camp us out unless somebody else wants to. No. Okay.
No.
Camping.
Go for it.
5, 4, 3, 2. Quesadilla. See you guys next week. Bye.